subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest updates. Typhoon Goni, Philippine name Rolly, looking much worse today as it leaves the Philippine Islands, thankfully, down to tropical storm status with winds sustained of 70 miles per hour, around 110 kilometers per hour, at 13.6 north, 117.6 degrees east. So a tropical storm, no longer a typhoon, still packing some strong winds and heavy rainfall, moving west at 15 miles per hour. A CDPS Stage 3 for the next area that it's going to affect, which is Vietnam. We're looking for a potential landfall at Quang Ngai on November the 5th, with significant rainfall threats yet again for Vietnam, unfortunately. Significant Stage 3 on the CDPS scale. Here's where the storm is right now. It's just starting to clear the Philippines, 70 miles per hour as stated, 990 millibars, and that position 13.6 north, 117.6 degrees east. That's at 10 p.m. Philippine time this November 1st. It's currently 557 miles from Tuy Hoa, 562 from Quy Nhon, 573 from Nha Trang, 597 from Quang Ngai, and 625 from Dalat, all in Vietnam. Signal 3 warnings still in effect for parts of the Philippines, Batangas and Occidental Mindoro, but those warnings are going to leave the Philippines pretty soon indeed. So all agencies in agreement with the 70 mile per hour reading. We don't have any satellite derived estimates just now because the storm is still, partially inland. But there it is from earlier, one of the track maps from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, taking the storm out to sea. It is pretty much out to sea at this point, although the center of the storm is a little bit ambiguous, and we expect it to continue westwards, and then maybe it's just a south element as it continues towards Vietnam. Unfortunately though, we are looking at a landfall fairly close to the same location that Malawi made landfall just last week, so more rainfall and misery for that part of Vietnam. This is the precipitable water, so you can see the influence of Goni, and then you've got at Sani, which moves in through Luzon in a few days time. I think that's Thursday that we're looking at, and then another tropical cyclone behind it whose future is fairly uncertain. Once again, here's this imagery at the start of that loop there. You can see how the storms are fused together, but they separate again, and at Sani starts to get itself going as it does a little loop around the Philippine Sea. So it's a busy time over there right now. Sea surface temperatures, these are in Fahrenheit. In Celsius, that's around 28 degrees where the storm is right now, and temperatures will decrease just a little bit once it gets closer to Vietnam. The Philippine Sea still fairly warm. And this is the wind profile of Goni. You can see it there developing again, maybe getting towards hurricane or typhoon status as it approaches Vietnam. And then you've got the other system behind it at Sani, which it looks like, according to that model run, that it could make a Category 2 landfall further north in Luzon. And then this next system, which will enter the sea next week, that could also affect the region. But looking at Goni, this is the model runs. It's weakened remarkably quickly, which is obviously good news. Wind shear is much higher than expected by this point. We're expecting 20, but in fact it's 30. Sea surface temperatures starting to drop and will continue to do so. Relative humidity is moderate. So the storm is going to struggle for the next few days, but there could still be some slight intensification. So here is the latest satellite imagery. The peripheral band is just about to retreat from the Philippine Islands. The main bulk of the storm now over water. The center of it is probably somewhere in there, although there are rumors that the convection is completely decoupling from the center of circulation. We can't really see that on this imagery because it's infrared. We would be able to see it much more on the visible. But what's clear is that the storm is leaving the Philippine Islands, thank goodness, after it made that historic Category 5 landfall.